Because not so long ago, you had Western imperial powers waging wars to topple democracies all over Latin America, in Iran, all across Central Asia. And today, you have wars being waged supposedly to install democracies. Why? Why has democracy become so user-friendly for the free market? How have they learned to take away the threat that democracy actually represents people and put in place these institutions, these rituals which count for democracy, while actually impoverishing people or bombarding the imagination to a point where you don't even know that your imagination has been colonized? So when I'm speaking of a place like India, where we'll come to the fact that the wars that were fought in Kashmir and Manipur and Nagaland and Mizoram, in fact, the Indian state, from the moment it became a sovereign nation, from the moment it shook off the shackles of colonialism, it became a colonial state. And it has waged war since 1947 in Kashmir, Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram, Telangana, Punjab, Kashmir, Goa, Hyderabad. If you look at it, it's like a state that has been perpetually at war, and a military war, and deploying the army against its own people. The state of Pakistan has not deployed its army against its own people in the way the democratic Indian state has. And if you look at who are these people that the Indian state chose to fight, in all the northeastern states, they were tribal people. In Kashmir, it was the Muslims. In Telangana, it was the tribal people. In Hyderabad, it was the Muslims. In Goa, it's the Christians. In Punjab, it's the Sikhs. So you see this sort of upper caste Hindu state perpetually at war. And within that, there's been the creation of democratic institutions. There has been a constitution which is in very many ways admirable. But each of those institutions has been hollowed out so that it works only for the privileged. So India is a democracy for the few. And it's not a democracy for the vast numbers of millions at whose cost this nation's growth rate is galloping ahead. So while the untouchables, the Adivasis, they are not waging any wars of secession. However, they are brutalized. Even if you go to Kashmir, the poorest, most wretched people you will see are Indians, living on the streets, living in garbage heaps, collecting garbage. So what kind of a democracy is this? That, in the last 2 years, I have, I've been writing quite a lot about the armed struggles being waged in India, and I'm often accused of being a terrorist sympathizer and a Maoist and so on. And, I've actually written about the nonviolent struggles that have been simply discarded and set aside by the state for so many years. And today, I said, you tell me one institution, one democratic public institution that a poor person from a village or a slum whose family members have been killed or tortured or dismembered or raped. Tell me one institution in India that this person can go to and expect justice from. And I will withdraw everything I've said. But there isn't an answer to that.